What is going on, friends? Right here is Oneida Park. We have Esther's, you have Dang Soft Serve, you have famous Philly cheesesteak, Illegal Pete's, among others. A great spot to go grab a bite, great spot to hang out. And today's video is a virtual tour of Park Hill, Denver. Let's do it. How's it going, my friends? My name is Jesse Lynch and I work with the hardest working real estate team in the game. We're called Welcome to Denver, and you can check out our website, welcometoddenver.co. But this YouTube channel is all about helping you find a place to call home, a place to land here in beautiful, particularly nice day today, Denver, Colorado, the Front Range, you know, the great Rocky Mountain State. You know what we're doing here. And that's whether you're buying a house for the first time or relocating here from a different city, state, country, planet, dimension, whatever one. First-time home buyers and relocations, that's what we do, and that's what we do better than anybody else. So if either of those two things appeal to you, do us both a favor, subscribe to the channel, click the bell to get notified, give the video a thumbs up, and say what's up in the comments. I would appreciate that very much. It's not only helpful to, you know, this video, my ego, this channel, this real estate team, but it's also very helpful to other folks like yourselves who are looking for this kind of information. And if that does sound like you, if you are somebody who is thinking about moving here, maybe you already live here and you're, you know, hoping to buy a home for the first time, get a hold of us. We will crush it. Nobody will work harder for you than we will. You can go to our website, welcometoddenver.co. We have a contact form that you can fill out in literally 30 seconds, maybe a minute if you're kind of taking your time. Or you can shoot us an email directly to info@welcometoddenver.co. They lead to the same inbox, so completely up to you how you do it. We just ask that you do, and we look forward to meeting you, look forward to hanging out with you, looking forward to getting you here in a home, which is ultimately the goal, correct? Cool. All right, y'all, today's video, it's a good one. It is a little bit of a slept-on neighborhood, a little bit underrated, my kind of neighborhood. Absolutely beautiful, wonderful housing stock, very, very well taken care of. And for whatever reason, just might not show up on a bunch of the lists of, you know, top 10 neighborhoods, but maybe it should. All right, let's get into it. Friends, right here is Colorado Boulevard, and just across here is City Park, which is an absolutely beautiful park. It's home to Denver Zoo, Denver Museum of Art and Science, and just the park space in general. But the reason that we're not shooting there is that it's not technically within the boundaries of Park Hill, and that's a rule that I sort of set for myself when making these videos, is that I shoot where, you know, technically within the area. But right here where I stand on this side, on the eastern side of Colorado Boulevard, technically is Park Hill. So here we are shooting in Park Hill. And Park Hill, we're sort of combining all three of the Park Hill neighborhoods. There's South Park Hill, North Park Hill, and Northeast Park Hill. And that's probably going from most expensive, sort of most high end, and then, you know, to the least expensive in that order. South Park Hill, the most expensive of the Park Hills, and Northeast is the least expensive. And right now, I would technically be in South Park Hill, which is an absolutely stunning neighborhood with beautiful homes, like really, really impressive architecture on the homes, and just so much character all the way throughout this neighborhood. And we know that Colorado Boulevard is the western border. So to the north is 52nd Avenue and also part of 48th Avenue. Kind of depends on where we are in the neighborhoods. And then to the east is Quebec Street, more or less. To the south is East Colfax. And then to the west, again, Colorado Boulevard. We're sitting maybe 15 minutes or so to downtown Denver, obviously depending on traffic, but it's pretty slick, pretty quick access over there. And maybe 20 minutes to the Denver airport. And real quick, look at this house. I don't know. Can you see that house? What a beautiful home. Truly, all up and down these tree-lined streets are some truly, truly beautiful homes. The combined population for all three neighborhoods is right around 30,000 people, and it's a pretty good landmass. Again, sort of three sub-neighborhoods within the one. They're both sitting right around 10,000 each, so not wildly dense, and I would say very much, you know, in favor of single family living, sort of that single family neighborhood lifestyle. According to niche.com, there are sort of different grades that each sub neighborhood gets. South Park Hill and North Park Hill both get an A+. Northeast Park Hill gets a B. So there's definitely sort of a difference, you know, like that house. Yeah, there's nothing like that in Northeast Park Hill, right? As you get closer to the Northeast Park Hill, things tend to get a little more modest, and you know, maybe slightly less impressive and less well taken care of, but still generally pretty nice spot. The schools that serve this area are generally, they vary pretty dramatically, right? It's going to depend on which one of these spots you're in, but specifically, if that's a priority to you, then I guess I would just pay attention to this and then sort of work backwards as far as which area is going to serve that. And you can probably guess to some degree by what areas are most expensive, how do the schools line up. It's pretty consistent. That's typically a pretty good barometer for, you know, how the schools are going to look. And specifically, you have East High School, that gets an A+. That serves all of Park Hill west of Monaco Parkway, okay? So you have to look at a map, find where Monaco Parkway is. Everything to the west of that is served by East High School, which gets an A+, very, very highly rated school. And then Northfield High School, it gets an A-, so still not too shabby. And that serves the rest of the area basically to the east of Monaco Parkway. Probably fairly obvious. You could have gleaned that, I'm sure. As far as middle schools are concerned, you have Denver School of the Arts, that gets an A+, very, very highly rated school. And then you're going to find, you know, all the middle schools basically under that, and they're going to be slightly, you know, less high rated than that one. Elementary school is kind of a similar situation where you're going to have Swigert or Swigert, or actually I don't know how to pronounce that, but that gets an A-. And then again, all the elementary schools are just going to fall under that one. When it comes to home prices, naturally they're going to vary pretty dramatically, you know, and the medians are going to vary quite a bit depending on which one of these sub neighborhoods you're in. The cheapest is going to be Northeast Park Hill, where the median sale price is going to be $575,000, which actually not bad. It's actually pretty good compared to the median. Then you have North Park Hill. Median sale price there is $680,000, which I would say, again, not terrible for being in Denver proper. And then South Park Hill, where we are right now, it's a little bit higher. We're talking $985 median sale price, but gosh, it's beautiful. And these houses are amazing. And again, the, you know, maturity of the trees and just like the character of the whole neighborhood and access to City Park. I mean, so nice. But tell you what, we're gonna hop over into a little neighborhood park. We're gonna talk through pros and cons. How bright is that? All right, let me blind y'all instead. All right, let's talk pros and cons right now. here I am. This is actually Monaco Parkway, which maybe you heard earlier I said is sort of a dividing line between two different high schools primarily. Anything, I'm heading north right now, anything to the west over here is served by East High School, and anything over to the east is served by Northfield High School. And East High School is respectively rated higher. It gets an A+ on Niche, a very, very highly rated school in Denver proper. Northfield though, nothing to, what did I say, nothing to balk at. It's an A- on niche.com as well. But, you know, if that's a huge priority, then just know that west of Monaco in this neighborhood is going to be slightly higher ratings as far as that goes. And there's only maybe 3-4 blocks or something to the east. So the huge majority of these neighborhoods are served, you know, by that East High School. So something to keep in mind. But we're not talking schools here, we're talking pros and cons. So what are the pros and cons of living in Park Hill? For one, they are rated very, very high. On niche.com, North Park Hill and South Park Hill are rated #1 and #2 best neighborhoods in Denver, which is pretty crazy. So for me, the pros definitely outweigh the cons here, but which is obviously, you know, most of the time when we're doing videos, it's because the pros outweigh the cons. I'm not going to shoot too many videos on places that I think are, you know, I don't have very many nice things to say about. But in general, the pros very much outweigh the cons here. I would say one of my favorite parts about this area is how beautiful the homes are. And there's a huge variety of housing stock all up and down this Monaco Parkway. Some truly beautiful homes, and even more on the modest end of the area, right? Really great sort of Tudors, colonial style homes, and craftsmen as well. And then as you get closer to City Park, you know, on the western edge, some truly, truly impressive houses start popping up around there. So amazing, just beautiful housing stock. Another pro for me is just, well, especially once you get in, might not seem like it here because I'm on the Parkway, but once you get in, just like a block in that way, there's something so quiet about these neighborhoods. It's just a peaceful, kind of cozy neighborhood feel in Denver proper. And I mean, that's kind of what it's about, right? Like that's very much the soul of these neighborhoods. And, you know, I think why a lot of people are into it. They want that sort of neighborhood, quiet, cozy feel. Another pro for me is going to be that you have very easy access to downtown. You also have good access to the airport. It's all very conveniently located. We're maybe 15 minutes to downtown, maybe 20-ish or so minutes to the airport, and it's kind of a nice in-between as far as that goes. Now you are slightly further from the mountains than if you were maybe on the western side of Denver, but you know, all in all, most folks' lives on the day-to-day, they're not going to the mountains on the daily, right? Another pro for me, I'm gonna try to run across the street while there's an opening before I get hit by a car. But another pro for me is gonna be the diverseness of the housing stock within Park Hill. You're gonna have access to truly amazing, you know, almost estate-like homes, which are just beautiful historic architecture styles, but you're also going to have some access to some more modest, you know, but still beautiful housing stock. And then as you get further north, it's going to get a little cheaper, a little more modest, and sort of northeast is probably going to be the most modest. Another pro for me is just how many great little shops, restaurants, bars, cafes, coffee, spots there are within the neighborhood. It is pretty legit as far as the commercial amenities, kind of the neighborhood coziness amenities. It's actually a pretty impressive sort of collection of what I like to call cool spots, right? Where there's breweries even, and just a lot of places that you could walk to, ride a bike to, obviously drive to, maybe even hop on a bus. It's pretty accessible in that regard. These houses are so beautiful. I love specifically Monaco. You know, the parkways tend to be like kind of impressive look. But yeah, really, really beautiful houses here. And truly, as I said, inside, yeah, it's really, really cool. Another pro for me is that just to the east, you're gonna have access to a lot of, and I guess the north, a lot of more suburban style amenities. There's Quebec Square, which I'm maybe like 5 minutes to where I'm currently standing. There's Walmart, Home Depot, King Super, all that kind of stuff, and just lots of sort of suburban amenities. So even though you're in the city proper and you have kind of the cool neighborhood vibes, you have plenty of those just kind of normal life, you know, amenities. And then, like I said, I'm just going to say last pro, I didn't specifically talk about it as a pro, but it's access to potentially very, very good schools. Now, all of the schools here are not like super highly rated, but you know, you do have access to East High School, A+, a highly rated school. And then you also, as far like going down to the middle schools, you have access to Denver, what's it called? Denver School of Arts. And that's like an A+ rated middle school, obviously an art school, which, you know, it's probably obvious that a person like myself into the arts. But then let's hop over to cons. What are the negatives about the area? For me, the first, you know, sort of negative, and I know maybe it doesn't make sense because I'm sort of standing in a green space, but it's just a parkway with a trail, right? But there's sort of a lack of neighborhood park spaces within the area, right? It's even called Park Hill, which makes me think that there would be a bunch of parks, and there's really not. There's only a couple parks within the neighborhood proper, and you know, they're fine, but they're not they're nothing, I would say, particularly special. But again, you do have access to City Park, which is one of the best parks in all of Denver, and you also have access to Fred Thomas Park, which would be sort of the southeastern side, and also a great park, maybe not quite as cool as City Park, but still very nice, and just sort of a great spot to, you know, hang out with the family. Another con for me is that as you get further north, certainly as you get closer to I-70, it starts to get very industrial, right? Along I-70 in general, it's pretty much only sort of commercial space, which, while it's okay, there's a little bit of like a ugliness because it's not just commercial, it's actually like industrial, right? And another sort of con is that there actually is like a Superfund site up that way. It's not technically within the border of Park Hill, but if you know what a Superfund site is, it's basically an environmental, you know, problem. I don't know if disaster is the right word, but like a big, you know, big environmental, you know, issues have occurred there from whatever companies were operating there or whatever, to where there are just potential health issues at the Superfund site to, yeah, where, yeah, I don't know. And that Superfund site is called Sand Creek Industrial Superfund Site. If you're curious, if you're concerned, look it up on Google and you can learn about it. But yeah, I would definitely say that's a con, even though it's not technically within Park Hill. Another con for me, and a lot of it has to do with sort of how industrial it gets as you go further north. So sort of the last con really for me is that as you go that way, as you get close to I-70, the homes also start to decline, right? Like the quality of the homes, not all of them, there are still great homes up that way, but you know, like these homes are immaculate for the most part, right? Very, very well cared for, and they were expensive in the first place, so often those things sort of correlate. But as you get closer to the industrial areas, you're just more likely to find a little bit of blight, a little bit of lower levels of pride of ownership and that kind of thing. But you know, I still wouldn't rule it out. I would say go check it out. There are going to be pockets that are probably really going to do the trick for a lot of people up that way, but in general you'll see a little bit more of that, and I would be remiss if I didn't call that out. But all right, that is it for pros and cons. I'm actually now going to hop over to a park space, and we're going to talk through some other spots that you might want to consider if you like what you see here in Park Hill. Okay. friends, now we're in sort of the North Park section of Park Hill. And basically right over here is the Hiawatha Davis Jr. Recreational Center. And all around here is Skyland Park, Skyland. I'm not sure how to emphasize that, but it's a great little neighborhood park. It's got basketball court, tennis courts over there, lots of sort of field space, a great little playground right over here. And right around here, you're much more likely to find sort of the more modest, mid-century era ranch style homes, but they are, for the most part, pretty well taken care of. And, definitely a good option for some people. Still has all of the conveniences of the other sections, and it comes in quite a bit cheaper. So some people, that's definitely going to do the trick for you. And some people, maybe it's just, not the right vibe. But if you've been watching these videos, you know that we have a section that we call our For Fans of section, which is to say that if you like what you see here, you might want to check out some of these other areas, as they have similar vibes, similar characteristics. And just in general, the folks that we're helping that are looking here might also be considering a spot like that, right? So the first of which I'm going to say is going to be Wash Park. And Wash Park, or Washington Park, a beautiful neighborhood with one of the best parks in the city, and truly is just a beautiful, beautiful neighborhood with some stunning homes. And I would say that's most comparable to sort of the south portion of this Park Hill neighborhood. Just really, really cool historic homes. And similar to here, not a whole lot of scrapes going on, right? Whereas certain neighborhoods, maybe like a Cherry Hill, people are just getting rid of whatever house is there. Places like Cherry Creek, people have for quite a while now been buying the home, totally demolishing it and putting up a new build home. So while it is a beautiful neighborhood and there are still some homes with character, a lot of the character homes are now replaced with new build homes. Whereas a spot like this, that is not happening nearly at the same rate, and the historic homes are being maintained for the most part, and there's just so much of that quaintness, that sort of throwback identity. And I really enjoy the character of these older homes. So it's very cool to see. And that was a tangent, but Wash Park has similar identities, which is basically that it's not being like fully scraped yet, right? Which is, again, something I appreciate. Another spot with similar qualities is Congress Park. And while I'm at it, let me just sort of include City Park. City Park technically is a neighborhood. It's also a beautiful park, but there's not a whole lot of homes in. So let me say Congress Park / City Park. Beautiful old homes, quiet feel. And now again, that's going to be fairly similar to the southern portion of the Park Hill neighborhood. Next up, I'm going to say Sunnyside. Sunnyside, I love that neighborhood. We have virtual tours on all of these spots, by the way. But Sunnyside, really great, and has kind of the coolness of where you can walk to a shop, a restaurant, a bar, that kind of thing. And it's just kind of this cozy, kind of interwoven neighborhood, which is just kind of another like cool thing. And maybe that might be a little closer to the North Park neighborhood. Maybe not quite the Northeast, and Sunnyside might be a little more like the North Park, and maybe even a little bit more like Northeast Park. A couple other spots. Central Park is just immediately to the east of here, and a lot of the errands that you might run if you live here are going to be in Central Park. And for that reason, I think a lot of the people who are considering here would naturally consider being right in Central Park. And then the last spot, which is not terribly far away, but far enough. It has some similar characteristics as far as the housing stock. So it has some interesting, more ethnic food offerings and that kind of thing. Is going to be University Hills, and maybe I would throw in University Park while I'm at it. We also have a virtual tour of that, and it's a great spot. Again, some cool historic homes, and it's kind of a walkable, cozy spot with similar qualities in that the closer you get to the highway, the maybe less impressive the housing stock gets. But the reality is for most people, there's so many neighborhoods that would do the trick, right? And we would love to have a chat with you, and we'd love to ultimately help you find the right house in the right neighborhood for the right price and just get you there. So get a hold of us. We'll crush it for you. Nobody will work harder for you. I say that every episode. It's true. You can go to our website, welcometodenver.co. We have a contact form there that you can fill out in 30 seconds, or you can shoot us an email directly to info@welcometodenver.co. They lead to the same inbox, so totally up to you how you do it. We just ask that you do, and we look forward to meeting you, look forward to hanging out with you, look forward to showing you around this amazing place, Denver, Colorado. Appreciate you watching this. If you're new, if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the channel and click that bell so you get notified so you can see when we put these videos out. And for my ego this time, give the video a thumbs up, say hey in the comments. Would appreciate that very, very much. All right, y'all, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.